In this video, we're going to cover Unit 7.4 of Money Market, and this means that we will be covering discount instruments. So we will cover commercial paper. Commercial paper is an unsecured promissory note. So it is usually issued by companies, and some banks can also issue it in the same way that a certificate of a deposit is issued by a bank. However, your commercial paper is non-interest bearing. That means if an investor purchases it, they will not get any interest payment. It's like a zero coupon bond, so there is no interest payment over here. Then why would an investor purchase this commercial paper if they're going to get no interest payment? The reason is that this is a discount instrument, which means that the amount paid for them is less than the face value. So the difference between the amount you pay and the face value will be your return in this case. For example, if the face value for commercial paper is 100,000 and you purchase that commercial paper for 80,000, so 20,000 will be your gain from it. So there will be no interest payment, but yes, you will still earn something. Now, for commercial papers to be popular, it is necessary that they have a good credit rating so that they are widely acceptable and they are negotiable, which means that you can sell them to another investor if you want your money back before the maturity date. Now, this is the formula for it. The maturity proceeds is the face value. In a discount instrument, at the end of the tenure of that commercial paper, you're going to get the face value. For example, if the face value is 100,000, so when the commercial paper matures, when it ends, you will get 100,000. These are the maturity proceeds. How to calculate the price? It is simply the present value of the maturity proceeds. So if, for example, you're getting this 100,000 after 92 days, you need to find out its present value. That is going to be the price that you're willing to pay right now to purchase this commercial paper. So this is your present value formula. Let me just write it in a way that you can understand better. So this is your face value, or you can even say your future value. 1 plus R multiplied by days over year. So it is simply calculating the present value of the cash flow. Now moving ahead, this is a practice question. A commercial paper is issued for 91 days with a face value of 10 million. On maturity, the investor receives only the face value of 10 million. So after 91 days, you will get the 10 million face value. If the yield on the paper is 4.7%, the amount the investor will be willing to pay now for the paper is. So how much is he ready to pay right now? This is your question. So you need to find out the present value of this cash flow. This is the amount that he will be willing to pay. So let's use the formula. Okay, first I'll just write the formula for you. So the future value is 10 million. The rate is 4.7%, so 0.047. 91 days, and it is EUR. So should you use 360 or should you use 365? So we will use 360 over here. And if you calculate this, this is coming 9882589.34. So this is the price of this commercial paper. This is the amount that you would be willing to invest right now at time 0. So now moving ahead to the next question. A dealer buys US dollar CPU with a face value of 3 million at a yield of 5.17% when it is issued with 30 days maturity. The amount he pays for it. So again, you need to calculate the price of this commercial paper, and the face value of this is 3 million. The yield is 5.17% when it is issued with 30 days maturity. N is 30. So let's calculate its present value. We will use this formula. 3 million, 1 plus R and multiply it by 30 over 360. Again, we're using 360 because this is USD. This is its present value. Now let's see what the question says us to do. 7 days later, he sells it at a yield of 5.17%. It now has only 23 days to maturity. So the price he sells it for is, now what is happening is that you purchased it when there were 30 days in its maturity. But 7 days later, you are going to sell it. So you purchased it right now at this price. And 7 days later, you are going to sell it. You don't know at what price you're going to sell, but once you're selling, there will be 23 days left and for the commercial paper to mature, to complete its 30 days tenure. So now you need to find out the price over here. You can do it in the same way. So this is your maturity proceed. This is the face value. But instead of discounting it to time 0, which you did over here, now you need to discount it back by 23 days. So you will find out what is the present value at the 7th day. So if I do this calculation, that means same face value, same rate, I will just change this to 23 now. So this is the price at this time period, 2990123.46. And similarly, you can actually calculate the price at any point of time. So if I ask you that what is the price of the commercial paper after 20 days? So after 20 days, would mean that there are only 10 days left and the commercial paper will get mature. So if I want to know the price at the 20th day, I will calculate the present value of this cash flow. So I will take N 10 in that case because it will come back 10 days. So moving ahead, now we can actually also calculate the return that he has made over the 7 days. So there are two formulas for yield. You can use any one of them. Over here, I have used this one. So cash flow at the end divided by cash flow at the start minus 1 multiplied by years divided by days held. So let's go back and see our question once again. So this person, he purchased it for this price and then he sold it at this price 7 days later. So cash flow at the start is going to be this. This one is the cash flow at the start because he is going to purchase it at this price. And 1 week later when he sells it, he's going to sell it at this price. So this will be the cash flow at the end. Now you're plugging in the values. This is the cash flow at the end. This is the cash flow at the start. 360 because the question was of US dollars and days held. So you hold it for 7 days. So calculated, it will come 0.0515, which means 5.15%. So this investor, he bought the commercial paper for just 7 days. And this is the return that this investor has gained from purchasing and selling this commercial paper. Now moving ahead to Treasury bills. Treasury bills are domestic instruments issued by governments to raise short-term finance. Basically, Treasury bills are also discount instruments, which mean that they are generally non-interest bearing and the amount paid for them is less than the face value. So like commercial paper, this is also similar to that, but the difference is that these are issued by the governments. And they are also negotiable, which means you can sell them to anybody else in the market as well. The terms, they are generally 13, 26, or 52 weeks. In France, they are 4 to 7. In UK, they are 13 weeks. But in Pakistan, we have for 3, 6, and 12 months treasury bills issued by the government. Now, there is a difference between discount and yield. You can calculate the formula, you can use the formulas that we have just discussed to calculate the price of treasury bills if the question has provided you with the yield. The problem with treasury bills is that they are usually quoted in the form of the discount rate. So you need to be clear what is the difference between yield and discount. So let me go over here. The discount rate is the amount of the amount of discount expressed as a percentage per year of the face value, whereas the yield is the percentage per year of the original amount paid. So basically, it is telling you the same thing from two different perspectives. Let's look at an example to understand this. For example, you invested 100, you got an interest of 10, and you have now 110 rupees 1 year later. Now, if I'm calculating the yield, it is the percentage of the original amount paid. So the original amount paid is 100. So 10 over 100 multiplied by 100. This means that the yield is 10% in this case. But if I want to find out the discount rate is the percentage per year of the face value. So this is the face value, the maturity proceeds that I will be getting. If you take 10 over 110 and multiply it by 100, you will get 9.09%. This is called the discount rate. So from the discount rate, you can actually figure out what is the yield, and from the yield, you can actually figure out what is the discount rate. Like over here, they have given you the discount. If you want to find out the discount rate and you're given the yield, you can use this formula. And if you are given the yield, you can convert it into a discount rate. So it's not that big of an issue. Let's look at an example. Okay, and this is how you calculate the price if you have the discount rate. So if the question has given you the discount rate, you can convert it into an yield and use the previous formulas, or if you want, you can use it directly in this formula. So a dealer buys T-bill with a face value of 3 million at a discount rate of 5.17% when it is issued with 30 days maturity. What is the yield? So they have given you the discount rate and they're asking you what is the yield. So this is the formula. The discount rate is 5.17%. The days to maturity are 30. So just plug in the values and this is the yield, 5.192%. Let's now also calculate the price using the discount rate. This is the formula. The face value was 3 million. This is your discount rate, 30 over 360. This is the amount paid for the treasury bill. Basically, when you have the discount rate, your question is in a different kind of a format. Basically, they are telling you that, okay, so this is the face value, 3,000. How much money should I invest today? Based on the interest rate that is provided to you. So that means that you should invest this much amount. The concept is still the same. Now, how to calculate the yield over holding period for instruments that are quoted on a discount rate? For that, you have this formula. It is very similar to the formula that you have used for yield calculation as well. The only difference is that you have replaced this by discount rate instead of the interest rate, and most probably this is different. Over here you have minus. So a dealer buys T-bill with a face value of 3 million at a discount rate of 5.17% when it is issued with 30 days maturity. 7 days later, he sells it again at a discount rate of 5.17. So this is the purchase yield and this is the sales yield. It has now 23 days to maturity. So this will come with the sales part, 23, and this will come with the purchase part. Let's use the formula. So I'll plug in the values with you. So now over here, the sale and the purchase yield are the same. Days from sale to maturity. So there are 23 days to maturity when the investor is selling it. So you have 23 over here. Days from purchase to maturity. So when he bought it, he had 30 days till its maturity. So you have 30 over here. How many days did he hold it? He held it for 7 days. He held it, sorry, for 7 days. So this will be 5.19%.